here. I don't know what's going on weird with the tablet, but the tablet is up and working here. But we're here. It is time for another episode of Comic Book Spectrum. Let me go ahead and make certain that we got power to this thing here for the rest of the show.
Good evening, Leia. Lils and Beanie with you.
Yep, they are. She was here early. We was talking about something else here
Got
before the
it.
show. Yep. So yep, they were ready, and I'm beginning to notice a delay on my tablet here
Ah, okay.
because I'm up here trying to show things on stage here. There we go.
I was that explains why I was sitting there going, Joe, hey.
Yep. Yep. There's a major delay, but it is what it is. But nevertheless, we're
We're
here.
here. Yay.
Yep. And we're a couple of days, not a couple of days, today or tomorrow. I think it's the Supergirl, the Girl of Tomorrow movie comes out.
Yes, I believe Supergirl comes out tomorrow. I hey, I won't be getting to see it. Sorry,
You know how I
finances.
am. I'm going to wait for streaming here because again, I haven't been to a movie theater in decades.
Why not?
I just don't enjoy the theater experience anymore.
Ah, okay. I I I like to go to matinees, early matinees. They're cheaper, and my youngest likes to go, and he likes to go to the Roosevelt Collection. And Courtney and I, because that's the place to get those potatoes, like to go to the AMC at Block 37.
I kind of agree. You know, the matinees are probably your best bet if you really want to go and really watch the movie where you don't have people truly being rude and interrupting you and all this other stuff. I do agree with
Yeah, certain audiences can get rather Brechtian, so but there's oh, before I forget, speaking of movies, for you practical magic fans, another movie that's coming out is Practical Magic 2. This one deals with, first, Lee Pace is in it, and there's a shot of him naked, and whew, hello. Anyway, this one deals with the two little girls from the first movie. They're now grown up, and one falls in love, and of course her love dies. So I guess they didn't, when they got rid of Mr. Batty, they did not break the curse because the curse is still active. Or when somebody tried to figure out how to make um, a, a sequel, they just said, "Oh, we'll just reenact the curse." I don't know, but
that.
the little girls from the first movie are now adult women, and they're in it playing the youngest of these girls, and of course, um, the elders are there, and I names. I am just having such a bad day. I caught something, and it's killing me. Well, not killing me, but it's
Mhm.
whacking with the old gray matter. But Sandra Bullock, that's who. Sandra Bullock is in it, reprising her role, as are the ladies who played the aunts. And who's the one? Who's the one that plays Sandra Bullock's sister? Nicole Kidman. Sorry. Yeah. So Sandra Bullock, Nicole Kidman, they're all reprising their roles. Some, oh my goodness, I can't remember when that movie came out,
I want to
but
say almost like 20 to 30 years ago.
yeah, about 20 years ago. And like I said, the eldest of the two girls falls in love, the guy dies, and it sends her on the spiral. And now Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman are trying to find her and trying to save her because it's causing her to make some dangerous choices. At least that's what the expanded preview um, trailer said this week. And we had wondered if Lee Pace, who's going to be in it, was a boyfriend of one of the elder girls, but he's not. He actually is a medium of some sort, and he gets psychically attuned to the situation. Um, but it looks like it's going to be fun. The first movie was not ha ha ha. It had some very great funny moments, but it's not like ha 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 funny. Um, and it's not, oh my god, they're going to eat your face scary. But for those of us who loved that first movie, it kind of has that same vibe, but they move out of the little town and have to, I think it's New York or something, that they have to go on the mainland to find this girl. um I am hoping things turn out. I hope at least there's one midnight margarita scene, because I just love midnight margaritas. I don't drink the margaritas, but I still love that scene. um but I am hoping it will, I'm hoping it'll be a good movie, but I probably won't get to see it till it streams. So if you go see it, hey, drop me a line either here or on my YouTube page and say, "Hey, I saw it," or go to the website, drop me a line. "Hey, I saw it. This is what I think." And if you do that, I will say so and so said they saw it and this is what they thought. So we will do that, okay? You can be part that way. You get to be part of the show. Yay! So, for you critters, the last three episodes of this season of Vox Machina dropped yesterday. And yes, there are a lot of things that are different. They get to the same place, but they get there a little differently. And for those of you who didn't see the tabletop, at the time they were making this, there were certain things going on. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but Ashley Johnson wasn't there for parts of it because she was doing the game The Last of Us. She was voicing Ellie, and she was at work on that. And then after she finished that game, she got a role on NBC's Blind Spot, which starred the woman who played the Lady Sif. And she played their tech person, which was really funny because poor Ashley is not a tech person, but you give her the line, she works on them, and then put her in the camera, and she's like blah 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 blah, and she's really good. But she did well enough, and they got a couple of seasons out of it. But that did affect her being able to actively participate. There are a lot of episodes where she was not there. There were a couple where they put a TV screen, a TV monitor, and she hooked up and was playing the game long distance, but she couldn't play as long because New York is Eastern time is hours ahead of Pacific time, and she had to get up and go to work the next day.
At
So
least 3 hours.
yeah, so there were times when she wasn't there. Um, and yeah, so there are things going on with Pike and Scanlon. I won't go into the Scanlon thing. They've dealt with that enough. But there were changes that they've made that they decided would make it more interesting for people who hadn't seen, not only those who hadn't seen the show, but those of us who have seen the tabletop and thought, well, we know how this is going to turn out, and how it's going to go. And they were like, ha, ha, ha. That's what you think. And yes, if you've been watching the show, who you think Gideon is who he is. And for those of you who know Stranger Things, who've watched Stranger Things, he's the big baddie that they were fighting in the game from Stranger Things. I will not say the name because I don't want somebody from Hasbro to come and, beat me up or me have to beat them up. And the reason they can't use that name is copyright. There are some copyright infringements that they could be accused of, so they can't use that V name. And if you know what it is, hey, if you know, you know. If you don't know, don't worry about it. it just what it is. So yeah, he's D and he is portraying D&D's one of D&D's main big bad. Look it up. It's not that hard. Starts with a V. I will give you that. And for those who aren't aware, he's being voiced by Andy Serkis, Gollum himself, which is really cool because Liam O'Brien, who is playing Vax for this show, has just finished up a stint doing some mocap and voice work for Gollum for a Lord of the Rings game. So they kind of switched off, and they have enjoyed working with Andy. They said he really surprised them because, you know, the way he voices this character, one minute he's very sweet and unassuming, and at the next, you'd think it was Saruman that was talking, um, and and not Smeagol, or you know, Gollum. But it is, he does an amazing job and is a lot of fun to watch. I'm hoping they had as much fun working with him. They from the few interviews I've seen, they said that he really surprised them and they're really happy with what he's done. So, you know, if you haven't already seen it, watch it. And if you really want to watch it, have some fun, watch Cintel reaction, because they've been doing it 3 episodes at a time. I love the way they discussed it. And it is fun. You know, it's kind of like sitting there with friends. Make yourself some popcorn, make tea, sit there, watch it. You'll enjoy it. I promise you will. And back to you, Joe.
Well, only thing I watched recently is that I finally finished the Harley Quinn animated series.
Okay. What did you think of it?
The end of it is something that I could have done without, even though I like the big bad that was at the very end.
Okay.
But the whole thing is it's like the whole double cross between that big bad and Lex Luthor's sister Lena was so messed up that it was just like, oh yeah, we should have seen that coming, and everything that transpired, and then the fact that they had to rely on Lex to try to get them out, and then Lex tried to double cross his sister, and the sister tried to double cross Lex. It's like, yeah, right.
Is that on HBO Max?
Yes.
Okay, that's why I haven't had a
Only is on
chance.
HBO Max because I missed about 2 seasons of it.
I haven't had a chance to. Well, I didn't get to catch that last season, and I no longer have HBO Max because I've switched my phone carrier. Since I don't have Cricket, I don't get Max for free anymore,
Okay.
and it was just one of those things of,
So
can I really afford to do this? No.
you think the whole doomsday scenario with Lex Luthor and the fact that Lex stole Superman's powers and everything.
Though I was, when I had it, I was enjoying things like what is it, the dark one, when the ones with Constantine and whatnot, and of course where they all have to fight, what's his name,
Justice League Dark.
yeah, Justice League Dark, and the one where they have to take off against what's his name with the eye beams that'll chase you down until it kills you,
Dark Side.
Dark Side. And I love that because I love the reveal about King Shark. I love that whole reveal about King Shark at the end, because he keeps through most of the movies like King Shark is a shark, and then at the end he's like, it's been wonderful, you know, fighting with you guys, and they're like, what? You know?
Well, King Shark.
Spoiler.
King Shark is king in this series. I like King Shark. I actually began to like Bane a lot more in this series.
I've
Bane
never.
is actually a tragic character in this series, and he's a great character, a great misunderstood character, and I like how everything ended for him in this
Okay,
series.
because I have not seen a version of Bane where I've gotten, yeah, I kind of feel something for him other than contempt. So
No, no, no. This one, by the time you get through the end of Harley Quinn, because the other thing that I watched was the sister show to this.
okay.
And the sister show to Harley Quinn was Kite Man Hell Yeah.
Okay.
So they brought back Kite Man. And it's like out of all things here, Kite Man fell in love with no other than Golden Glider.
Ooh, okay. That's a
So
character I'm not as familiar with. You
Golden
got to remember
Glider,
a lot of the newer
Golden, yeah,
DC
I'm gonna tell
characters.
you who she is. I'm gonna tell you
Okay.
who she is. Golden Glider is the sister to Captain Cold from the Flash.
Okay. Okay.
So it turns out that she actually has like this one major power that she
She can
tries not to
glide.
use. Well,
She,
no, that's her normal power, but she has another power beyond that.
okay.
That if she goes into it, pretty much anything and everything that's around her is dead, will die.
Ooh. Ooh.
That's
Oh,
how
that's
brutal he would get with it. So
ooh.
they started off the series where she couldn't control it.
Got it.
So it's like you saw her growth throughout the whole series. You saw Kite Man's growth somewhat throughout the series, because Kite Man, I just say it's like he's a very unique character.
Okay.
But this is why I kind of that what made me kind of like Bane as a character now, because
Okay.
they made Bane like a really misunderstood person.
He's not bad. He's just misunderstood.
He's not bad and evil. He just like it's like, for example, he likes blowing up stuff, but he has a heart of gold
I
beyond that, because it's just the things that we get to see in like the last two seasons of Harley Quinn, plus what happened in Kite Man Hell Yeah.
I
Like
didn't
for
see.
like for example, he technically has a little daughter now.
Oh, okay.
So he's kind of like, have like this. He's kind of like this makeshift family man, and it's kind of weird at how it happened.
Well, couldn't it be any weirder than Bane McGraw, attorney at law?
You mean
Whenever I, whenever I
Harvey
think,
Birdman?
no,
Harvey
no, no,
Birdman is there.
no,
Yeah.
no. I was thinking, wouldn't it be funny if Bane ended up as a criminal? If he ended up as a criminal lawyer? So I just in my head made up Bane McGraw, attorney at law. So
You need to,
Harvey, so
you need to
Harvey
see
Birdman, as he
the last
goes to
season of Harley Quinn, because
he's defending.
Bane has another ability that got tapped into by Clayface.
He's actually a criminal. He's actual criminal attorney.
No, he's actually a great writer.
Oh goodness.
He's a
I'm
great writer, and it's like Clayface brought him in to kind of write all of these news articles and everything to make Clayface look good, but to also be good enough to be like, oh yeah, this is good enough to pass the litmus test for Perry White.
Oh my goodness. I don't even
I mean,
I you just gave me a headache. You just
some of the things that happen with Bane in this series is just like, man. But I'm happy that he now have a love interest that actually likes him
okay.
for him. Yeah, that actually likes him for him, because it's weird. They did a Valentine's Day episode that just went off the rails. And it went off the rails because why? Everybody had to go and mess with Etrigan the Demon.
Poor Etrigan. Now see, that's who my heart goes to. It goes to Etrigan. Poor
It's like
Etrigan.
it,
He is so put upon at times. You know.
Etrigan in the Harley Quinn series, Etrigan has a store where people could go and get all these different magical potions, and he's like, I don't understand people. People want to come here and get all these different powers and potions and everything. And it's like, don't they realize that there's some downsides of doing that? And it's like people want to talk about how I always ride, but they don't see they don't see the true crime behind or what they really want behind the scene.
Oh my goodness.
I mean that Valentine's Day one was just so messed up. It was just so messed up. And then what happened to Bane in that one was just like, wow, if a guy like him was that self self
Self-conscious,
self
self-confident.
conscious, self conscious about a certain thing, it was messed up. And then what happened to him after he went to go see Etrigan was just messed up.
Okay. I don't even want to try to see that.
No, you have to see it because it was so messed up because it started off with okay, it's Valentine's Day and you know all over. Well, so yeah, they were still in Gotham at this time. All over Gotham, it's like people were getting together, this, that, and the other. So you know how Harley being Harley, it's like I got to make everything perfect. Ivy is like, no, I'm happy, this, that, and the other, yada yada yada. And it's like, will you stop trying to make things perfect? Everything was good. We stayed in, we got a good dinner, we did, you know, we watched some television. Everything was
Aw.
good.
Her
Everything was
she
good.
is.
It's like, but it's not perfect. It's like it's not perfect. I didn't knock yourself. I was like, look, I'm not the Joker. I don't have to go. You don't have to go to extra miles. This, that, the other. But no, you don't understand. It wasn't perfect. So she goes to see Etrigan.
Oh
And like,
no.
hey, Etrigan, I need to get a potion that will help me knock the socks off of Ivory while we're doing a certain thing.
Yeah, I can just imagine.
Etrigan was like, here we go again, this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. Okay, make certain that this, that, and the other happens. Keep it to a downward, this, that, and the other, and don't overuse it. So Harley did exactly what Etrigan said. However, another effect happened.
Oh no.
The other effect was it ended up happening to be so good that Ivy kind of pollinated this one spore and it got all over Gotham. And all of Gotham got like this high level of hormone horniness.
Gotham got all of Gotham went wow chicken wow wow.
Because of that. But people didn't realize what was going on here.
Of course not, because it's not like she's gonna come out and go, "Hey there, I'm gonna give everybody a taste of the horniness," because she Batman will show up and wreck the scene. He will wreck the vibe.
No, Batman by this time is in jail. He became a DJ in jail. You
I
have to see Harley Quinn. You have to see Harley Quinn because all of this
I
stuff,
I
like,
can't. I don't have HBO Max anymore, and I HBO Max, and
it's
I don't.
hilarious.
I just can't get it.
And your favorite character, your favorite new character that you don't like being man meat died in this series that got brought back.
Oh no, Robin.
No, Nightwing. Yeah,
Nightwing.
Robin. Dick Grayson. Dick Grayson does die. He gets brought back by the Lazarus Pit,
Oh, oh
and
no.
he was on a vendetta. It's like must kill Ivy.
Oh no. So
It
must
was
kill
so
Ivy.
it was so messed up though. But the thing about it is like they played it like how it was in the comic book, but they put some weird twist to a lot of the stuff.
Did he get Bow Chicka Wow Wow?
For example, Harley did join the Batman family for quite some time.
Oh no. That's the
And
only thing I have on Netflix. No, I have not Netflix. Prime has the Batman Family series,
Uh-huh.
and then they've got I think it's one of the earlier animated series. I can't remember. It's I haven't sat down to watch it yet
Yeah.
to see if it's
But
the animated series or the one that
it was
followed.
it's so hilarious about what they did in the last two seasons of Harley Quinn, because I was like, oh yeah, I haven't finished really watching this. It's like, yeah, I seen what happened with Kite Man, I seen what happened with this, I seen what happened with that. And then it's like, okay, let me catch up to what I missed. And when I sat down and watched it, I was like, this is some good stuff, but they just did not hype it up the right way.
Oh, it sounds interesting. I will say that it does sound interesting. I will have to see if I can. If right now they're at a, they're on a pay us $30 and we'll let you have your stuff back, and I'm like, no,
No.
you
You like
know,
Buck Bunny? No.
no, because I gotta call Hulu and go. Y'all keep upping your stuff. And what bothers me about it is a third of what? Because when I first I had Hulu, and then it
Mhm.
was like, hey, you want Disney? Well, you can have Disney, but you have to get Disney, ESPN, and Hulu. So I had to have all three of them. Then
Mhm.
they started offering for like a third of what I was paying, where you could just get Disney and Hulu. But when I tried to get hold of customer service, of course, the AI kept bouncing me around and I never got hold of anybody. So I
Mhm.
could switch it. And then at one point I got someone, it's like, oh, you're not allowed to switch. If you're already a Hulu, ESPN, and Disney subscriber, you can't switch to the new plan. You can't switch to the new plan. And I'm like, well, damn, that's not fair. Because I don't want ESPN. I don't all that stuff that the ESPN
See,
I
that's the weirdness.
watch.
See, that's the weirdness, because I would have been like, really? I cannot switch willingly. But what is stopping me from canceling my subscription, waiting one
That's
month and coming right back in with the lower thing, because there's nothing you can do about it.
well, you have to sign in with a different email account because they already have that email account on record. Even if you cancel, they still have that email account. What they did finally do, because for the
Mhm.
longest time, the past couple of months, they haven't let me sign in directly to Hulu. I could get into
Mhm.
Disney, but I
Mhm.
couldn't get into Hulu. And I could
Right.
only access Hulu, the stuff that Hulu had, but everything in my Hulu watch list
What's gone?
I couldn't access. So finally, this past weekend, they're like, "Oh, yeah, you had all this stuff in your watch list. Here it is." And it's like, "Yeah, took you long enough, you know,
Well,
to give that to
come
me."
to think of it, it's like with Hulu, it's like the last thing that I remember watching with Hulu was the new Malcolm in the Middle.
I haven't watched that, but um, I'm kind of a fan of American Horror Story.
Yeah.
So, well, there are ones that I love. The Coven series. I'm very, very fond of American Horror Story Coven. And then there's American Horror Story Apocalypse.
Mhm.
So those are my of the seasons. Those are my two favorites. The rest of them I'm kind of, but Coven and Apocalypse I really liked. And of course I had been watching Alien Earth, and I have no idea if there's going to be another season. I haven't seen anything, but
Mhm.
this has been a busy week, so I haven't had a chance to check. If I find out, I will let you guys know. I'm trying to
But
get better at learning to address the camera when I'm addressing the audience directly.
yeah, but I watched that, and I watched the new King of the Hill. That to me would have had legs if certain characters didn't die. And when I say certain characters didn't die, I'm talking about the actual actors that played them.
Ah, okay. Yeah, Stephen Root, I think. Did Stephen Root die? Or is he still alive?
I'm not certain. I know the person who played Luann died, and
The
just
mom.
recently the person who just played Dale just recently died, and
Oh, okay.
the person who just recently and the person who played John Redcorn died.
Ooh,
So they
okay.
had three actors voice actors that died
You said you watched.
shortly after, either before or shortly after they completed this recent season of the new King of the Hill.
Okay. You said you watched the new Malcolm in the Middle. What did you think about it?
It was a good revival of the original series. However, it makes more sense. Malcolm in the Middle makes a lot more sense with him as an adult than him as a kid.
Oh, okay. So I thought it made more sense for him as a kid than it did an adult, but you know.
No, because that was the whole thing. Because the new Malcolm in the Middle, we find out that Malcolm goes to college. He graduates from college. He has
He,
his own charity,
yes,
but he
and he's
has pretty much separated himself from the rest of the family. He
yeah,
has a daughter. He has a daughter.
he's
The
married
daughter
and
does
he's
not know his side of family at all.
oh, okay. I knew he I'd seen one of the previews where they were saying where the mom was saying, you know, he has this whole life that he hasn't that he's kept from us.
Hmm.
So
So it was kind of like him reconciling with everything that he went through as a child. And what I liked about these 6 episodes, or it was 6 or 7 episodes, but what I liked about them was more or less that it dealt with his childhood trauma, because the whole thing is surrounding the fact that his mother and father wanted him to come back home because they were getting ready to celebrate, I think, like either the 30th or 50th wedding anniversary.
I think it's the
I
40
can't remember
something.
which number. It's either 30 or 50, but it was their wedding anniversary. They making a big to do about it and everything, and they was doing it on the father's. They were doing it in such a way where they're honoring their father. How?
Because
So
he's
you know
supposed to be
how
retiring.
his mom is. You
Yeah.
know how his mom is from the TV series. So she's like, okay, everything had to be done like this, blah 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 blah. It's like when she got wind that he wasn't showing up on the doorstep with fouled him.
Oh no.
First time she finds out about the daughter, and it takes off from there. So it was kind of like the daughter and Malcolm's girlfriend helping him deal with the trauma from his family.
Oh,
But
I
by
thought that
the
was his wife.
No, that was it. No, he wanted to marry her. He wanted to marry her, but she kind of like backed off.
When she realized this is a broken child.
No, she backed off after seeing the family for the first time. She was there.
Ah.
She was there
Oh,
when
okay.
it happened. She was there
Oh
when it happened.
no. Oh no.
So it's
That's
like
gotta suck.
when mom and dad came knocking at the door, because it was both over there,
Oh no.
they were like, "What the heck happened?" And what made things worse is Malcolm was like, when that happened, Malcolm was like, "Yeah, I have a very logical explanation here. Just wait right here one moment." And he runs. He
I could just
ran nonstop to another town before he stopped. And it's like,
so he left the girlfriend and his daughter behind and just ran away. Oh, that's just pathetic. I'm sorry. That's just pathetic.
it was hilarious, but yeah, it was pathetic.
That's pathetic.
But
That's pathetic.
the whole trauma was lying behind, and this is the one thing that they did bring out at the very end. His trauma was lying behind not meeting his mother's expectations. and he came out and said, it's like, you had all these high hopes for me. You wanted me to be president. You wanted me to do all these great things.
And he didn't feel
And
like he could live up
the
to that.
mom was like, what do you mean? You did a lot of great things. You have this charity. You have all this other stuff. You doing everything beyond everybody's expectation for this family.
I guess
Your problem was with you. You couldn't accept the fact that it was good enough for us.
what gets me is okay, so because Hal is retiring, because I think that's
Hal's
supposed to
been
be.
retired for quite some time, yes.
Oh, okay. I thought he was retiring. But the thing is, all that time, they could have found them and they didn't bother.
You remember before the show went off, they had another child. That child has grown up.
Okay.
So they
What
raised
happened to
that
the
child
elder
too.
brother? Because I know the middle brother.
No, the elder brother finally gets his first child in this series.
Okay. And then the middle brother, um, I know the middle brother and Hal because they showed it in the previews that the middle brother and Hal have a moment.
Well, it's not the fact that they had a moment. It's just the Reese was using Hal to make money on the internet.
Oh goodness!
He
I know.
was literally humiliating Hal. He
Oh
was
no!
humiliating Hal on the internet and had a website and was making money, and Hal found out about
Oh okay, okay.
it. And like I said, Hal went over the edge. Hal actually went over the edge in this series.
Great.
He went on a sabbatical. It's like he ended up going on a sabbatical and this weird, trippy sabbatical to figure out who he really was, because everything that he thought that Reese, Malcolm, Dewey, and
Dewey's the youngest one.
Francis is the oldest. Francis the oldest.
Francis is the oldest. He's the one that went to Alaska.
Right.
The
He went
last.
to Alaska, got married, brought the bride back.
Okay.
And by the time we got to the end of the original series, he was trying to get her pregnant because we want grandkids. We want grandkids. Mom was like, we want grandkids.
Yeah. You know.
And
So
so they've
yeah,
been trying. And then in this season, in this reincarnation, they finally
had a baby.
are expecting. They finally are
Oh
expecting. And
wow.
they were expecting, they found out that they was expecting right at the time they set up the anniversary and everything. And they was up here, how come Malcolm wasn't coming in? This, that, the other, blah, 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 blah. It's like, well, this got to be great news. And we probably going to gain some favor, this, that, or whatever with the mom. And mom was like, no, I got to figure out what's going on with Malcolm.
Oh
And
no.
that's when Francis and I can't remember the mom's name off the top of my head here.
The
That's when
girlfriend.
Francis, huh?
The girlfriend that the girl that
No,
Francis
no, no.
married, or
His mother, Francis's mother's name.
oh okay. Oh goodness, I can't remember it either.
But
It ain't just
Francis
me,
and his
y'all.
mother had that heart to heart about organization and priorities. And that's when Francis started to understand. It's like, oh, okay, I understand. After she went out and actually started really paying attention to the fact that she's about to become a grandmother. Because all during this time, it's like everything was about the anniversary of why Malcolm's not coming out. It's like, but we're going to have we're going to have your first grandchild, this, that, the other. It's like, we should be moved up the notch. You should be happy about that. No, we need to find out what's going on with Malcolm and why he's lying to us. And she was up here. It's like, but where are we in this priority list? Maybe a close five. And it was messing with Francis so much that eventually, he was helping. He was helping his mother and everything, and he saw the booties and everything. So it's like, oh, so the priority list is not really like the priority list. Like, no, the priority list is the priority list, but you have to understand that when it comes to certain things with this family, I have to make certain that I'm on top of certain things the way that I am. It's not like I don't think about all this other stuff that's going on around me. And I might not even show you that I'm really thinking about it. You just happen to luck up on this one. But I do think about it. And you have to understand that if I do think about it, that does mean that I care. So that was the heart to heart that she had with Francis.
Oh, okay.
But the only bad thing about it is that the original Dewey did not come back. Everybody else, their whole
I was
original
about to
cast,
say the
minus Dewey.
youngest one, Dewey. Okay, so they got somebody else to replace him, or did he
Right.
die in a tragic accident?
Now I forget that at the very end of the original series that the baby that they had was female. I forgot that it was female.
Okay.
But she doesn't identify as female.
Okay, but what does that got to do with Dewey?
Well, Dewey became a concert pianist.
Oh, okay.
So
but they had to replace that actor.
Always, so the way that they played it is like they got some different actor, and he was always out of the country.
He's always on tour.
He was always communicating via the internet.
Oh, okay. So 2 of the sons were successful.
Well, define successful. Because Francis started his family, and he had a successful family. You know, he had his own business and everything.
Okay,
he still lives out of the garage in the house and everything, in the original house and everything. He still lives out there in the garage and everything. But
he's got a business.
Started his family.
Okay.
Yeah, he started his family. Reese is still a mess up. He still is a mess up. He hasn't changed.
Reese is the screw up, but Francis, Malcolm, and Dewey have it.
Well, yeah. If we go and say if 2 are successful, it would be Dewey and Malcolm, because Dewey is doing his thing abroad. Malcolm got his charity, and Malcolm was always the focus on. You are going to be the first one to have all of these great things that the rest of the family would dream of having here.
But it sounds at least like Francis isn't a total screw up.
No.
This is what I'm going at. At least, it was like Francis.
Francis is more like Hal. The way I look at it, Francis is more like Hal.
Yeah, I think of all of them, he's the closest to Hal in regards to temperament. At least that's how I thought. That's how I saw him.
He was the first. He was the first of the troublemakers, but he was more akin to Hal. He's like, you could tell that he was Hal's child because he kind of had those moments where he approached things like that.
And he also and he was a troublemaker, but eventually he grew out of it.
Yeah, he's still growing out of it. Yeah. He's still growing out of it because that was the whole thing about his wife. His wife, and that was the only reason why his mother never forced him to annul the marriage, because the mother is like, "Oh, you're kind of like me. You help him help him stay grounded. Sure, you can stay married." Because at first it was like, "You married Hal?" It was like, "No, no, no." And they're like, "We're about to get rid of you." And then they really got to sit down and got to know one another. And then that's when she realized, it's like, you really ground him. I like that. You're okay with me. And, that's when she was like, yeah, the marriage, you could stay married.
Okay. I guess the arrogance of a parent to decide that they have the right to annul a child's. I mean, he's an adult. You can't just get up and say, "Well, I want to annul his marriage." You can't walk.
But that's the way the mother always approached things.
That's how she approaches it. But the fact is, he's a grown man. She can't just get up. If she had walked into a court of law and said, "I need you to annul this marriage," after the judge finished, after everybody in the court finished cracking up, they'd have the Bailey escort her out and maybe suggest that she needed to get some, to meet with a therapist. She doesn't have it's not like she's like, the Queen of England. And can demand.
But still, you're talking about a mother who, at the very end, had a broken leg, still carrying all this stuff in and out of the actual show, actually danced with her husband and everything. And when it was all said and done, they had the big screw up at the end with the whole thing of glitter, and everybody got covered, and it was like, oh, now the deposit is not refundable, and all this other stuff, and everything went to chaos and everything. And she was like, yeah, this, that, and the other. It's like, oh, by the way, why is my leg? Why am I so much pain in my leg?
I'm a mother. Okay.
Yep.
I can't, if Charles got married, I can't drag his ass in front of a judge and go, you have to annul the marriage. Because the first thing you're asking, why do you want to annul the marriage? Well, I don't like the bride. Judge
No,
would look at me and
would have
go,
done it that way.
sucks to be. No, there is, you, at it, once your child is an adult,
Mm-hmm.
unless you then declare him incompetent, okay, you have
And you
to.
don't think that she has enough evidence based upon military school, the arrest records, and all this other stuff to prove that Francis is incompetent?
No, that would improve he's a screw up, but it doesn't make him mentally incompetent. Okay, the law is very clear. You can't just get up and say, unless he.
I know
No,
that, but I'm just saying how the show would work in that aspect here.
okay, because I'm like, yeah, that
I'm
y'all.
not saying that I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying in that universe, their mom would have been like, okay, let me break it down to you, tell you all these different cases and everything about his military school record, his police records, all this
All
other stuff that
things
he
that
got.
happened before the age of, I think that was all before the age of 21 or
No,
25.
maybe before 25, but not before 21.
Yeah, but before, in other words, depending on the arrest, certain crimes or whatever reasons you get arrested, they get expunged from your record after a while. In other words, they can't be used against you.
Well,
Certain
I
things.
can tell you this: there's certain things that Francis has done, and certain things that Reese has done that cannot be expunged. That's one of the
Well,
reasons. That's one of the reasons why he went to military school.
yes, but I
That's
did
one of the
see the
reasons
thing
why
where
he
the
went
girl was
to
asking
Alaska
Reese
in the
about his
first
past.
place.
I saw the thing where girl was asking Reese about his past, and he said, "Oh, the judge sealed those records. You'll never know." And it's like, okay, but I'm saying there are things that her power as a mother. He's a grown man. She what it would take, and she can say, well, blah 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 blah. She still has to have a psychiatrist, not a psychologist, not a counselor, not someone who watched Judge Judy. She would have to walk in with a psychiatrist and have him declare. And no, I
And
don't think she's that good. I don't think she's that good because if she was,
I'll
she'd have
just
been.
tell you, she would try. She would try. That's just her.
She
That's just the nature of her
tried, but
character.
she
She
would
would try.
fail. Speaking as an actual mother,
Right.
you can
Right.
try.
I just speaking on how the character actually operates. She would try. She would
She
try
would.
her
She would.
darndest. But it was because she recognized that she did help him to stay grounded to reality. To reality is like, oh yeah, we know that it's like she knew that he was a screw up, and she saw how she handled things with him. It's like, okay, you kind of like a mini me, so yeah, I'm good with this.
She could have made the girl's life miserable, but she couldn't have annulled the marriage.
Hmm.
Because also the girl could fight.
I
I
don't
don't
think
think
better than her, but she could fight. She could. She did. She can fight. Don't get me wrong.
that's what I'm saying. It you to me that's sloppy writing.
it's
Somebody
it's sloppy writing,
somebody
but it
thought it
worked
was
for the
cute,
mother.
but
It worked for the mom's character.
I'm sitting there, I would have been sitting there going, yeah, okay. Good luck with that. Let me know how it turns out.
You,
I'll go
you,
ahead
you
and
you remember how moved it to retirement, right?
no. I right. off the edge, right off the top of my head, I can't
Because
remember how he gets out.
technically he got fired, and he got into the point where he was old enough to collect Social Security and whatever benefits that was not taken away from him.
Oh, okay. So he got, by the time he was fired, he'd already earned enough benefits, so it didn't matter if they had fired him. He
Yeah,
still
they
was
because you
entitled.
remember, you probably don't remember in the series that they was trying to hook Hal up to send him to prison for
That part I don't remember. I don't remember that part.
his company, and he worked for a very powerful company. Was
I
trying to
do
set
remember
him
he
up to
worked
be,
for a big company and they seemed kind of shady.
and they were trying to set him up. They were trying to set him up to be the big fall guy to send him to prison for like 30 years for
For what
like
they were
embezzlement and all this other stuff that they was doing behind the scenes.
trying to make it. Yeah, it's so funny because I was just thinking about, did you ever see Born Yesterday, the movie?
I think so.
It's about this guy. He's hired as a teacher for this gangster's mall.
Mhm.
And the gangster has gotten smart enough to get a lawyer who's been instructing him to create these businesses, shell companies and stuff, and put them in the girlfriend's name. And she has to sign. But because he wants to now move into certain circles, because he's trying to pull a Capone,
Mhm.
where he can move into certain, he's got enough money where he can move into certain circles. But he can't dump her. I think the lawyer tells him, if trying to dump her
Mhm.
when he's putting stuff in her name will not work. It only costs, people will ask questions. And he gets not Mathau, the other guy. I can't remember his name right now. He's in Days of Wine and Roses, and he's the one that beat up Sylvester Stallone in the park.
Lemon.
Yeah,
Jack
Jack
Lemon.
Lennon.
Lemon. Yeah.
He's been hired to act as sort of, instead of sending her to night school, he's been hired to teach her. So he's
Mhm.
instructing her in English, civics, and whatnot. And as he starts teaching her, they start getting sweet on the other, but he starts looking at the paperwork that this guy is getting her to sign.
Mhm.
And at one point in the movie, she is figured out enough
Mhm.
by talking with Lennon about, how government works and things like that, when she kind of realizes something ain't right in Denmark. And he wants her to sign this paperwork. And she's like, no, because I don't think my name on that means if something goes wrong, I'm the one, because you realize he's setting her up. If something,
Mhm.
it's a way of hiding in the money. But at the same time, if something goes wrong, she's the patsy.
Mhm.
And she realizes it. And it's the part where the movie goes dark, because she stands up to him and he beats her and makes her sign it. She signs it, but she signs it under duress. And what I love about that movie, I was just thinking about that character because I was thinking about the mom and I was thinking about him. And it's like, yeah, I was thinking about Hal, because it's like they did to Hal what they were doing, what this guy was doing to her. You
But
know,
you remember how? Oh, there's Fable.
Hey, Fable.
Fable is here.
You
But
know,
you remember how Malcolm got him off the hook?
the wife got him off the hook, didn't she?
No, Malcolm got it off the hook.
Malcolm off
Got him
the
off the
hook.
hook.
Jack Lemmon is the one that gets what's her name off the hook.
Right.
Because
But
the way
Malcolm
the movie
got him
is
off the hook. Yeah.
they get all of his companies, because he tells her, you've signed all this paperwork, you now own all these companies. And they make a deal with them. It's like, we'll give you, for every year you don't bother us, we'll give you one of your companies back. You bother us, we destroy all the paperwork. Yeah, you can kill us, but all the paperwork will be destroyed and you will have nothing. And he's like, so every year you don't bother us, we'll send you back the paperwork on your little thingies and you can figure out someone else to be your Betsy. So he helps her turn it around so that he can't hurt her anymore and stuff. And I for some reason when I was remembering about what they were doing to Hal, it just made me think of that. They were
no, but it's a good analogy because it's kind of exactly what happened because it was ironclad that they had him as a patsy, but Malcolm figured out a way to get him out of it. It was a pattern. It was a specific pattern that happened that made the allegations not stick. And it's something that they proved that says like, nope, Hal could not have done all of this embezzling, but at the same time, the company got mad and had to fire him because of it.
Yeah.
And that was Malcolm's dad never worked a Friday in 10 years.
And all the stuff that they were accusing him of were supposed, if you look at the logs, took place on a Friday.
It's like all of the really big transgressions took place on a Friday. And it was up there like, well, where was Hal during this time here?
Well, he wasn't here.
Hal was at a baseball game with us. Here the tickets still. It's like, where was Hal on this day? Oh, Hal was at a doctor's appointment. Here is the doctor's statement. This, that, and the other. Where was Hal on this day? Where $4 million were embezzled. How was over here doing X, Y, and Z, and here's the paperwork that proves that he was there. It's like, and the judge was like, wait a second. So all of these days in question happened on a Friday. Mm-hmm. And Hal was not in the office on a Friday.
Because he was busy being dad.
He was busy being dad without having
he wasn't at his computer. To take off. So that was their way to get rid of him, was like, well, you didn't get permission to be off all these Fridays. So yeah, we can't pin these crimes on you. But
right, if you didn't play ball with us, we're not going to play ball with you. But by that time, he had enough in savings and everything. Because even after he got fired, he was still looking for a job and all this other stuff. He was doing odds and end type stuff until he was, until he could get his full retirement.
Yeah,
but that's how he retired. They tried to hook him up real bad for several millions of dollars.
Yeah,
this whole company tried to hook him up real bad until Malcolm figured out. I was like, wait a second. That Friday in question, Dad was with us with this, that, and the other. And he started looking at all the other days. And it's like, Dad was with us with a baseball game. He took us to a baseball game there. He was at a doctor's appointment there. He had to go upstate to deal with Francis D. It's like, all these days had significant things dealing with the family. He was never in the office on a Friday. He never went to work Friday. Friday comes along, he was gone. He was doing something else.
The way they were setting it up was they were making it look like he had logged in and was doing it from his desk. And it's like, well, he couldn't have done it from his workstation because he wasn't here. And he wasn't at a remote computer location that would have been tied into the internet, because he wouldn't have been high enough. He wasn't high enough in the company where they would give him that.
Right, to give him access to work remotely.
Yeah. So it's like, yep, good on Malcolm. But yeah, that was.
It took him a long time because they was up here like getting ready to be like, man, Dad's about to go to jail. it's like, and the wife is like, if you really did this, where's the money? like, where's the hell the money? It's like, I didn't do this.
How come we don't own a yacht? How come we don't own a yacht? Where's my private island? Or at least, why don't we own
I,
some house somewhere?
it's like out of all of his roles, I still like Cranston's role as Hal. He is the perfect Hal. Everybody loved Breaking Bad. It's like, no, give me Cranston while he's playing Hal.
I
Because
didn't watch,
he goes the full gambit of all of these emotions.
I never watched Breaking Bad because he was the dad from Malcolm in the Middle. It was fitting what Breaking Bad was about. I just, it was one of those, because there are certain things, there are certain things you see someone in and you can watch them do the role that's a complete 180 from where they are. And
But
you're
it
like,
really wasn't a 180. It really truly wasn't a 180 because Hal did get mad a few times in Malcolm in the Middle. And we
but
saw the beginnings of Breaking Bad, but usually he doesn't, he's not the angry one.
he's not the angry one and he doesn't do the things that he does in Breaking Bad.
Mm-hmm.
He's a drug dealer. These kids, because he's a chemistry professor, get up and say,
Mm-hmm.
"Hey, can you customize these drugs for us so that we can make money and we'll give you so much?" And then the next thing you know, he's the big baddie. He went from just doing this to, oh, well, this makes me money. And it's like, okay, because he's dying. I get it. He's dying from cancer. He needs money for his treatment and whatnot. And I'm thinking,
And
shouldn't
the
he
people who
die
he was
from?
working with was on a short list, and he could barely trust them. And
But the
I remember how he always used to ream. I forgot what his name is in the show, but he would always giving him those stern. It's like you're not supposed to do this because rule number 5, such and such, such and such, such and such.
yeah, he became. Oh, hold on, let me put it up.
Yeah, he became
Down.
downright diabolical. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah,
Oh, okay. we
he
were
became
we were
downright
both clicking at the
diabolical.
same time. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was just, there are certain characters you don't want to. There are certain actors you don't want to see play certain types of characters, and and I have known people in that life, and it's like, okay, it was like the mafia one where
Which
he was the one where he's in therapy or whatnot. They had
oh,
kept
you talking about Sopranos?
The Sopranos. I didn't bother with it. It's like I knew too many guys who were in their heads they were Tony Soprano, and it's like I knew enough people, not directly but indirectly,
Mm-hmm.
who for whom that life was what they were aspiring to, where it was like I don't see anything of that I want to watch it. I'm sorry, I just can't be bothered. And it was at a point where I had to make choices about what I wanted energy wise in my house.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, nope, I've tried to get away from people to who I am connected familiarly, who for whom that is what they aspire to. And it's like, nope, sorry, not going to. Even if you sell, I don't care if it celebrates it and whatnot, or if it doesn't end well for them, yay hoo. But I can't. I know enough about it to know how those people end, and I just see no reason in seeing it. I've seen enough of the real
Well,
reality of it.
that's the thing with me. Is like I watched episodes of The Sopranos, but I was more curious about what was it like before Tony came into power, where his Uncle Julian was in power, and they did a movie on that, and the actor who played Tony, his son played him in the movie.
That's And I get it, and everybody said, "Oh, the acting was amazing." It's like, yeah, but you know what?
But it
I
was too
was.
close to home for you.
It was a little too. If you grew up in the projects or certain areas, certain neighborhoods, it was like, no, I'm sorry. Even though I'm not directly connected with that, I knew there. No, it was like, no, I just can't. It's
Yeah, because
just because.
you would have stayed away from that. You probably would have stayed away from one of my other favorite shows here, Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, I did not. As much as I enjoyed Pacific Rim, I did
Mhm.
not buy. In fact, I didn't even pay attention to him until he got Pacific Rim. Because Sons of Anarchy, it's like nope, nope. And understand, I was born in '61, and I remember Adamant. I
Mhm.
remember the reports about what happened because they were trying to do their own version of at the farm. Woodstock. They were trying to. It was the people who didn't make Woodstock were going to
Mhm.
do this. The Rolling Stones, among others, and they hired. I still to this day can't figure out what idiot told them, yeah, hire the Hell's Angels for security. You know, and it'll be fun. It'll be fun. It'll be badass, man. They'll just add that sort of, you know, danger to it. It's like, yeah, and then folks got dead. Thank you. It was just it's just no. I there are things that you kind of like on the outer edge of, but you hear,
Mhm.
especially as a child, you're hearing things and stuff. It's like, you know what? I can avoid that because I know what happens to people who get caught up in that. No, no, I can do
and
without.
and that was a decent story. Sons of Anarchy was a decent story. Mayans was a decent story, but I kind of figured that that would be too close to home for you, where it was at least distant enough for me where I could be like, this is all fantasy. I know, and it's like I know that people get caught up in it, but it's too far away from me to be like, oh yeah, I can't just really sit back and be like, yeah, I can't watch this.
Yeah, to me, it was I knew too many people who were trying to aspire to certain aspects of that. It's like, no, um, I'm just going. It was one of the, like what we used to call acid flashbacks.
Mhm.
So for me, I've never done acid, but it was the emotional equivalent of acid
Like,
flashbacks.
like
It's like,
for
nope.
example, I knew people who went through stuff similar to Blood In, Blood Out. I get, so that's why I say I get what you're getting at here. It's like I knew people like that. It's like, yeah, I kind of figured that this was going to happen. I had another person that made me watch State's Property,
Oh
and I was
no.
like, yeah, it's like when I watch State's Property, it's like, yeah, I know people who, I went to like junior high and high school with people like that.
Yeah. I lived in areas where people like that were the norm.
Hmm.
And so, it's like, and I was pregnant with Charles and I was staying at a shelter. And this woman came up to one of the women at the shelter said, I know some guys. You're kind of cute. I know some guys. You have the baby. It's like, no, thank you. I
Hmm.
know what life you're living.
Hmm.
And I go, that's a direction I'm not going to go. And
But
so it's like, yeah,
those type of things don't really interest me as much as like shows like Prison Break.
I've seen bits of Prison Break, and there were times when I enjoyed it,
Hmm.
but it was like Prison Break was one of those things that came on for me at an inconvenient time because it's when the boys were up,
Hmm.
and sometimes I could go, okay, yeah, I'm gonna watch Prison Break because there are times that John liked it because of work, the brother who could work out how they were going to do it, putting it all together. He thought that was cool, but
Hmm.
there were aspects of the show I just did not want them exposed to. So there
It
were
was a
things that
lot
we
of
didn't.
it was a lot of the prisons type stuff that we didn't want them exposed to, and then after they got out of Muddy, well, Fox River, that's what
They
they
got out
called
of
them.
Fox River, and
Because
then
they filmed season one at Joliet,
yeah,
and then by the middle of season two, they was in South America because they was in Soma,
yeah,
and
and
then
then
season four got cut into like two halves because
and
they cut it season four for down to change the ending because they did the
because he was
end
supposed to
they
be
did the end
dying.
of the TV series, and then in Final Break, which was the
Yeah.
movie was the actual true ending of Prison Break.
Ah, okay. I didn't see the
Because that's when
movie.
we find out that the operation that the so called company that
Uh-huh.
his mother was a part of, that operation was not successful on him.
My kitchen sink is making noises out of a horror film right now.
Well, the bubbling and gurgling and all this other stuff.
But the thing is, no one is in my kitchen. We're
Oh,
not running in water in there. That's whatever they're doing downstairs. It's causing that.
how is it? What are they doing to cause the stuff to be backed up?
I don't know. I don't know, but every once in a while they'll do something, and like I said, my the pipes in my kitchen will just sound like something out of a horror film. And Courtney and I just kind of sit here and look to see if we see anything crawling out the sink. It's like, okay, how fast can I get my daggers?
Right. Exactly. So, saying all that to say is like I like stuff like that. And before he became Blonsky, that actor also played in a series called Lie to Me.
Oh, that's right. That's right. And I never watched it. Like I said, I ended up for me because I also had small kids.
Mhm.
So a lot of my evening stuff was still taken up with what, especially with John. We had one TV. So my evening was taken up with what they wanted to watch.
Mhm.
And so, and John, it's so funny because John decided the other side of the law was what he likes. So CSI. He loved CSI.
Well, he would have loved Lie to Me. He
Law
would
and
have loved Lie to Me.
he loved Law and Order. He loved CSI. He loved Bones. Um,
I didn't care too much for Bones. I
he
I
loved
I,
Bones.
I like 24 until they got rid of President Palmer.
I liked 24, and then Sean Astin was on the show and they killed him. And it's like, I am never watching you people again. You killed my Shawnee. Shame on you. Um, and it was like, and then
That was messed up because of the situation.
this,
Whole situation they could have wrote better.
yes, and then what did they do? They put him in Stranger Things and they killed him again. And it's like, I'm gonna have to write him a letter and say, if you die on screen again, I swear I will show up at your door and whoop your ass. Stop.
No, but I'm surprised that he didn't like Lie to Me, because that was the whole thing. Lie to Me was the if I could say, the psychological and doctoral company that was being used by the FBI about doing
One
lie detection.
what he liked about, I think one of the things is because Bones and then that other young researcher um were neurodivergent
Okay.
and he's autistic.
Well, okay. So he was like, "That's me. I could have been something like that."
Same thing with the CSI because they
Hmm.
had the one guy on there who it turns out was mildly autistic and he really liked him. So those were shows where he really liked those characters and they were, he liked the fact that they were smart and they were brave and they were trying to help people. So he really
Well, I
liked
get it.
the so he really liked those shows because I would ask him, it's like, well, sweetie, serial killers and whatnot. And, and he's like, but they're brave. And, for him, it was like they were smart and brave and they kind of think like me and they try to help people. And it's like, okay, got it.
See, while,
I'm
while
not
he
gonna,
while he was
I'm,
getting filled up with that, I was getting filled up with, Lie to Me and Prison Break and Sleepy Hollow.
I like he
Their
actually.
Fox versions of Sleepy Hollow is what got me back into the whole thing about Ichabod Crane. It's like
I
Ichabod Crane
like
is a time traveler. I was like, this is interesting.
I liked that take on the Ichabod Crane. And then when they fired Bahare
Hmm.
and didn't fire Bison
Hmm.
because they both got sick. They both took time off, but she was the one they fired. And that just pissed. And then to make it worse, they changed the narrative because when the show was on the air, they made it sound like she got tired and quit.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
That's how they actually, that's the narrative they were putting out, was that she felt like he was overshadowing her and she quit. And then it was a decade later that the truth came out about that they got sick and he went to England.
Hmm.
And she just wanted to take time off to get better, just like he ran his ass back to England. She wanted to take time, and they fired her and kept him.
That was because of the network changes. Because that was
But
during the time that the people don't realize that Fox as a television network had so many upper
yeah,
management changes
you so
during their
many,
first 6 or 7 no 6. By that time they were but was at least a decade in. It was at least a
John,
decade in.
yeah, John watched a few of those. He kind of liked them, but it wasn't enough to keep him going. I loved Sleeping Hollow, and like I said, I was mad at her because
Hmm.
they changed they were putting out the narrative that she threw a hissy fit and left.
Mm-mm.
And the
Mm-mm.
truth came out that they fired her. And it's
That
like,
was the
oh,
network that did that. That was the same. Like, you have to be mindful. This is the same network that did what they did with Firefly.
yeah. And
This
oh,
is the same network. This is the same network that canceled Greed, the game show, because it wasn't edgy enough.
which is like really, really
It was like
interesting.
it was just with all these different changes, with all the different people that was going in and out in upper management, controlling the TV schedules. It was just one of those things that it just like it was very very weird
It
in
was
the
also
bigger.
exhausting because you had a bunch of guys who were in sales and marketing. They didn't write, they didn't direct, they didn't act, they had no in skill in front or behind the camera. They were not the ones actually putting stuff together, but they were the ones who could decide who was working and who wasn't. And
or
then
or
putting and
even or even better yet, if you remember all the different reality shows that they were trying here, they couldn't even
oh
vet people. They couldn't even vet people correctly because people keep forgetting the reality show of who wants to marry a multimillionaire and what ended up happening there.
I'd seen Who Wants to Marry a Millionaire. I didn't know they had a multimillionaire.
Well, it's the
And
same. No, it was the same show.
yeah, and that was on ABC. And then at one
No,
point,
this was no. The
was
original one was on Fox.
okay. At one
And
point,
they did not vet. They did not vet everybody that was a contestant.
and then it came out that I think at least one of those guys didn't have nearly the money that they
Well, that
claimed.
well that was the twist. That was the twist that the network wanted to have. But the vetting portion was the ultimate winner. The ultimate winner, the female that won,
Hmm.
had this long felony record, and she was still wanted.
Oh wow! No,
And they never vetted her completely to exclude her from the competition. It wasn't
ah,
until after she won and
MTV had
they said that he was not a millionaire and all this other stuff, that all hell in a handbasket broke out,
yeah,
and it
because it
became one of the most scandalous things. And then ABC tried to do it a
and
different
it
way, and it didn't work.
Flavor Flav got something like that on MTV, and one
A
of the
Flavor of Love.
girls
It was called Flavor of Love, if I
Flavor,
remember correctly.
and I remember watching a few episodes, and I saw the episode where one girl got kicked out
Hmm.
um, because she told the truth.
Hmm.
Because they were making it like this was his mansion, and they were all staying there, and she's like, "This is not his house. This belongs to MTV. He's getting everything that we're doing. He's not paying for. MTV is he's getting paid to do the show. MTV is footing the bill for all of this. Plus, he's getting paid, and I guess the producers." And they aired it. They aired that episode, but the producers, I guess, must have pulled him aside because he came in and cussed her out, and they kicked her off the show.
Hmm.
And it's like, well, I hate to say this, Flavor, but she's right. You
Hmm.
haven't had a hit in you haven't had a hit in forever. You're not producing for a lot. I there were guys
Well,
who they
there's
had
a
maybe
lot
a
of
couple
things.
hits and then they went on and became producers. That's not what Flavor Flav did. He was making money on MTV doing the reality shows where he did the what was it, the beach house thing, and that's where he
Right.
met
Hmm.
what's the name from that Schwarzenegger, Bridget Nielsen, and
Hmm.
then they had Bridget and Flavor and whatnot, and then broke up, and then so he was making
Well,
that was what was putting him in the public spotlight because everybody I had pretty much gone, yeah, you big deal, so they
again, the whole argument that he had with Chuck D when he got kicked out of Public Enemy was I feel it was his downfall. It was his downfall. The reason why he had to do reality television, why he had to do like stuff like reality rehab and all these other weird shows
and
because
then
he no longer had the music tours anymore.
he didn't have the
He was
tours.
he was not he was not affiliated with any other record company because nobody wanted him. Everybody wanted Public Enemy.
But
People
they didn't,
wanted Chuck D. Nobody asked for Flavor Flav. Even
and
though
he was becoming a
he had
headache.
songs and stuff, he had his own songs and stuff up under Public Enemy, but it wasn't as popular enough, nor he was the front man like
Yeah.
Chuck D was.
And
So,
then of course eventually MTV realized, okay, every year, the viewership for your stuff is because what's her name? That same show that he got started on at MTV, that kid from the Brady Bunch who played the middle son.
oh, you talking about Michael Knight,
Michael Knight, and then he met the
Brady Rules
girl
or something
when
like
they
that, and we're talking about his real life wife, who I think they eventually got divorced, if I remember correctly.
yeah, they had My Favorite Brady on, and
Yeah.
then no, he met a woman on one of those shows, and My Favorite Brady was him and her together.
Mhm.
But it
And
was like,
then they eventually split
yeah,
because they were doing a whole bunch of things together and everything.
and I think it was one of those things where people were like, we're kind of tired. Yeah. But it's like, because it's like, well, you can ride that rate, you can ride that wave as long as you can, but there's a point at which you're going to realize that the water level has dropped and you're just kind of like falling through the air because
But
there's
but that
nothing to
was the
get you.
thing. But that was the thing. I don't believe that he could have provided a life for at that time an up and coming model because she was an up and coming model. And I remember that the next big thing that he did after that, he hosted a show called Trivia Pursuit America Plays, which was a game show.
And I don't think it lasted more than
Oh
a couple of
yeah, I did.
seasons.
I did. I forgot about that one too.
Oh, that's
That was another
right.
one. I Love New
Yeah.
York, the one with Scott Bale. Yep,
Yes. Oh
I
my
forgot
goodness.
about that one too. That was very short lived because again, during that time, not too many people got along with Scott Bale.
Well, also because he was very, you know, he got a little, he forgot. Yeah, you were a hot kid in the 80s.
Hmm.
But it's like the late 90s now. And in case
Well,
you haven't
he tried to
noticed,
have a
the world
resurgence in
has
the
sort of
90s.
moved on beyond you,
Yeah,
you
he tried
know.
to have a resurgence in the 90s because they tried to bring back Charles in Charge in the late 80s, and it couldn't survive into the 90s.
There, it's like you have to think about the audience and what the
Mhm.
audience will put up with, and the audience tastes change.
And it's weird
And
because Willie Ames was more acceptable than him for some reason.
well,
Because
also
Willie
because
Ames,
he was
go ahead.
Bayo's a prick. I'm gonna just
You
put
said
it.
it. You said it. I didn't. Well, I'm not
You know,
disagreeing, but you
he's
said
a
it.
prick.
I didn't.
No, he is. They used to have in Hollywood, if you had the right connections, they would have these celebrity poetry nights. And he was famous for not being someone that other people got along with. And he did this poem about it. And he was like, he didn't care what people felt about him because he was filthy effing rich. And it's like, really, you must care about what people think about you, because every time I turn around, you're trying to restart your career on some show. So whatever money you're trying to claim you have,
Mhm.
you probably ain't got it. And you obviously care enough about what people think about you because you're constantly trying to put yourself back in the public spotlight.
I thought the whole Nicole Eggert thing never happened. I thought that never that they proved that never truly happened.
It was, it's one of those things they would whisper about. Um, but it was one of the, so long as she didn't admit it and he played coy, you know, and they were never seen together privately. Whenever they were seen together, it was some public event. So people couldn't say, oh, well, they were at the back room of, they were at Hamburger Hamlet and whatever, sing canoodling
Right.
or whatnot, or French
Everything was
fries.
up front. Yeah, it was
It
up
was
front.
up
It's like they
front
were
and
together
above.
on a red carpet, but they were separated. It's like, he would come in first with his entourage. She would come in second with her entourage. They would meet up, say hello,
take
and then
some
it separate.
take pictures together really quick and then go their separate ways. So, and on the one hand, people were saying, well, see, they play it so well. And it's like, well, first of all, he's not that good an actor. you know, Second of all, he's not high enough up in the hierarchy where if you could prove it, he'd just skate.
Well,
You
I
know,
wouldn't say he just skate. It's like it went to his head because with the movies that he did and the fact that some were, some did well at the box office, some didn't do well. But with that type of money, he should have been okay, but not to the level of arrogancy that he's at today.
and that's what I'm saying. He's a prick.
Mhm.
He just, he got to the point. There's a the, the smart actors don't believe the hype. When you get caught up in the hype and you forget that they will love you today and spit on you tomorrow. It doesn't take much for today's hero to become tomorrow's villain.
Mhm.
And you see the smarter ones because they realize um it comes and goes in waves. There's times where you're going to be very popular and everybody's going to want to shake your hand, and then there's times where everybody's going to be like, yeah, okay, this one's the hot one now, we'll see you later. 10
Mhm.
years from now, if you're doing interesting work, it's one of the reasons I love Kevin Bacon and Kira Sedgwick, um because they both were if you think about the 80s, they were hot and then met on a set and fell in love. And they have been married. But they've also done things like they continue to work, but also they got caught in the Madoff. The whole Bernie Madoff thing.
Mm-hmm.
Bacon got caught. They had believed Madoff, man. Oh, you're invest with me and I'm gonna make sure that you're gonna get to an age where you won't be hot anymore, but that'll be okay. You're gonna have money in the bank, blah blah blah. And when it came out that was a lie, and he called her. I forgot what she was doing, but he called her on the phone and he said, we have nothing. We have absolutely nothing. We are broke. And he said what hurt him most was not just that it happened to him, but he had a wife, he had kids now.
Mm-hmm.
And everything that he had worked to build for his family, because he was smart enough to realize we're not going to be the hot couple forever.
Right.
And
wait, what's this started with Footloose?
They met after Footloose.
Okay. I'm trying to think which movie was it, because if it wasn't that, I don't think it was. What was it? Thinner.
No. I'm trying to remember. I can't remember.
For some reason, I'm figuring it had to be in between Footloose and Thinner.
Yeah.
And he did a whole bunch of movies in between those two.
And
and to think about it, Footloose and Thinner was a very short period of time.
But they met during an indie film, because I first saw them together in an indie comic that they did that was great. But he had called her and he was like, I am so sorry. We have nothing. And she said, what do you mean we have nothing? He goes, all the money, it's gone. And they had $100 million between what they'd earned and what they thought they had earned, what they earned making movies and stuff, and what they thought they had earned in investments. They thought they had about $100 million. And then to get that call and say, you don't have anything. And she said, and he said, she took a breath and she said, wait a minute, we have the farm. They owned a farm they had bought this land, a farm on land in upstate New York. And she said, we have that. And he said, yeah, that wasn't part of all this other stuff. He goes, we have a few bucks in the bank. We have the house. We'll live in we'll get rid of everything in New York. We'll live in the house. We'll figure it out. And I mean, she could have left it, but she didn't. And there have been,
but that would have been her character, because you have to understand
that wasn't her character, and that wasn't his character, because they were a hot couple. And knowing how things go in Hollywood, you're a hot couple, everybody's trying to crawl into bed with you to one way or another. And they were both like, no, we are. When I look at Tom Holland and Zendaya, I see younger versions of them, because it is very much that they're supportive of each other. He has never tried. I have seen famous couples, actors, and even singers and other performers, where if she moves forward in some way, if he isn't, he immediately tries to pull her back. And
no, never. But then again, I just saw the commercial with them with Chase, and wondering if that is correct. It's like, oh, he's branching out beyond just the acting, because he kind of is a hot commodity in acting as of right now.
Like I said, they've always been very supportive of each other, and I love that about them. They've always been very supportive of each other, and they have said it hasn't been all cupcakes and roses. There have been times when they've had rocky times, and I've seen them do interviews, and people said, well, what keeps you together? And he says, because we're committed. This is who I want to go through the rest of my life with. And she's like, I feel the same way. And they have kids, and they have focused on building a life.
Already?
Do you know how Bacon and Sedgwick are?
No, I thought you were still on
No,
Zendaya and
no. I said they
I
Holland
was like,
and
wait, they got
Zendaya remind me of Sedgwick.
like, did I miss something here?
No, they remind me of a young version of them. I can
Okay.
see them, because I see interviews with them that they do
Mhm.
separately and together, and and they got married.
Yes, yeah, they did get married. That has been confirmed.
It was a private ceremony with just their families and a few close friends. They didn't make a big, and I love it because it's like that's what Sedgwick and Bacon did. They didn't do the $1 billion wedding. They
The
did this
grandiose
very
thing.
quiet little ceremony with
Right.
family and a few close friends. And it was like, because we're not trying to do something for the masses. This is not about our careers. This is about us. There's that part of our lives, and then there's us. And I see, when I look at Zendaya and Holland, I kind of see a younger version of Bacon and Sedgwick, because you can see that, yeah, right now they've got the public's eye and they are very popular. But at the same time, you see those things where they're very supportive of each other, and it's not the big showy things. You'll just see a small something, you know she,
It's not.
he gets
It's,
nervous in public and she'll reach over. They'll be during interviews and he gets nervous. I think he's a bit neurodivergent, and she will just
actually,
quietly
He is.
she will just
Not a
quiet
bit. He is. He is.
she will just quietly take his hand when she realizes he's getting a little flustered. She'll just quietly take his hand. She doesn't make a big thing of it. She just quietly takes his hand. And he takes a breath and they get through the interview.
I see
And
it more with when they get interviewed on red carpets and stuff.
I see red carpet stuff, but I also see on YouTube, I see because I follow a lot of the movies and stuff that they do.
Hmm.
I will see them do things, and the fact that he's done things like when she was shooting Dune,
Hmm.
even though he was shooting something else, whenever he got time off, he was on he was on that plane. He would go see her. He could have been doing other things, but he was going to see her. And their families are very
They're
close.
close. They're like this. Their families are
Yeah.
like that.
And I think that's a good thing, because you can also see that the families are protective of them and making sure that you have to be out there. And Zendaya is this tall, beautiful young girl, and she wears clothes exceptionally well, and designers want to dress
She
her.
has her own
Um,
label. She has several different businesses outside of the acting, and that's what makes a lot of the special things about her. But
before,
Tom Holland, I did not realize had such a pedigree on stage. He's a
oh yeah,
accomplished stage actor.
he
He's
was
an
he
accomplished stage actor. I thought he was just movies. Like, no,
no,
he
no,
is
no.
an accomplished stage.
No, he learned ballet and tap and all of
Mhm.
that, and he'd been trooping the lights in London and whatnot. That boy's got a lot of stuff behind him. Um, but also the fact that you see, I hadn't seen their first Spider-Man yet, but because I love the lip sync battle, and occasionally I'll catch a clip on YouTube, and I saw their clips, and he did Singing in the Rain. He starts
Wait. Okay, you talk about the lip sync battle.
lip sync battle with LL Cool J.
Oh,
He
okay. I gotta go and watch that now because I didn't see that one.
oh, it is. She's really good because she does what's I can't remember, the one who does he has a song, he's like Julio get the stretch, and I can't remember what the name of the song is. Um but he does the thing, he starts with Singing in the Rain. he starts with Gene Kelly singing in the rain, and then he ends with Umbrella by what's her name?
Oh, from Rihanna.
Rihanna. He ends that session with, so he goes from singing in rain to Rihanna and Umbrella, and he's got an outfit. Oh goodness, you have to see it.
Those are good natured. Those are the good nature because it's like the first one you mentioned, and it's like the first one that came back to my mind was the Mayim Bialik and the and old dude from Big Bang Theory.
Yeah. I love this.
And dude, the dude, the Indian dude from Big Bang Theory, he follows this type of music. Mayim Bialik ate him up. Mayim Bialik ate him up. I'm like, oh, there are a lot of surprises on that show
Well,
that you would
people
think
forget
that
she was Blossom, and Blossom opened with her and the girl that played her best friend on that show dancing.
Mm-hmm.
That show opened with them throwing down. So she can, yeah, she went and got a PhD, and she has a show on YouTube where they talk big brain
I thought it was
stuff.
an MD.
No, I think
I
she's
believe
got
she got an MD.
No, I think she's got a PhD.
She's a neuroscientist. I believe it's an MD.
Okay, I thought she had a PhD. I could be wrong, but yeah, she's got a show. She does a podcast, and she's on YouTube. She's here on YouTube. She has a podcast she does, and they talk about all sorts of neurodivergency and stuff like that. But I thought, for some reason, I thought she had a PhD. Oh,
No,
you know who it is that has the PhD? Girlie from Wonder Years.
Oh, Winnie Cooper. Yes, Winnie Cooper has a PhD. That's why I said it's like my biology. I believe it's an MD. She's an actual doctor because she's a neuroscientist, neurosurgeon.
Yeah, she got the PhD because I think, didn't she go to MIT or something? She went serious big brain school.
Was it MIT or was it I forgot. It was a big name. It was a big name medical school that she went to.
And what I didn't know until I read his book, Sean Astin, after he did Rudy, and because he was married by that time, he took time off and he went and got a college degree. He not only went and got a college degree, the girl he married, he not only went and got a degree for himself, he paid for her to go to school and get a degree. And his mom and John Astin were like, you have a relatively successful career. And, and
no, you're right. They say they're crediting her with a PhD from Cal.
Okay, I thought I thought she'd gotten a PhD from Cal.
Yeah, but I was right. It was neuroscience. I thought she completed I thought she completed the MD program, but she got her PhD.
She got her PhD.
She is a doctor. I thought it was more the medical side.
She is Dr. Bialik, but it's not medical doctor.
It's not medical. It's and that's the weird thing. The difference between PhD and MD. She cannot practice.
She can't practice medical.
She can't do the surgeries, but she could do all the other research and everything.
She can manage the research, but she doesn't, and that's because of the training is different.
Mm-hmm.
That's because training is different and everything. But she has said she didn't want to become a doctor in that sense. She got the degree she wanted to. It wasn't like, well, we're not letting you going to get this degree. It was like, no, this was the field of study that she wanted to get into. So she was, I think, one of the few people on Big Bang Theory on camera who actually had a degree.
And that's what she said, which drew her into doing that series, because they were really focusing truly on the science aspect of it. And it's like, that's the cool aspect of the show. It's like they weren't trying to play like they knew stuff. They actually brought real people who knew their stuff. So when they was up there. Go ahead.
John loves Big Bang Theory.
Mhm.
That he loves Sheldon, of course. Sheldon is the
But
favorite of
Sheldon,
his.
and surprisingly enough, Sheldon is neurodivergent.
Yeah,
They have actually admitted that on the show.
yeah. The actor who plays him isn't, but
Right.
the
But the
character
character
is.
is.
And that actor went on to do Hidden Figures.
Hmm.
He was in Hidden Figures, and that upset me for a bit. Took me a while before I was like, if I ever see him, I'm gonna throw him off a bridge.
Well, for those people who want more comic book stuff, I'm still in the middle of reading this here. I'm halfway through it. I'm not liking it.
Oh,
I'm not liking it only because of
why?
certain weird. This might be something that you might like if you could take the pacing of it.
Oh, okay. I have to
This,
get
this,
through.
this, this is more of a zombie vampire book, but you would
Ooh,
never guess by the way the cover is.
the cover makes me think of the 70s or something because
Mm-mm.
actually makes me think of the 80s because it makes me think of Pamela. What's her name? You know
Pamela Anderson.
yeah, it makes me think of Pamela Anderson back when she was on Baywatch and then got her own show. Um, so that was what immediately comes to my mind. I could be wrong, but that's what it looks
Well,
like they're pushing.
the thing that I don't like it is that, and I know I said this on my Saturday show, it's like when you write a story, you try to write it to make it relatable. I really don't relate to many of these characters that's in this story outside of Mung.
Got it.
And Mung is technically the if I could say the mortician assistant.
Okay.
I won't go into the story up to this point because I want to do a full review. Just to let you guys know that this graphic novel is by Arcana,
Oh,
but
okay.
it's an older book. It's an older one. This came out back in 2011. It's still available. It's still available. You can get it. You can still probably get it on Amazon and everything here.
I have a
I paid
question
$5.
because I have Last Kids. I have the first Last Kids on Earth book.
Mm-hmm.
I got hold of it. Um,
Okay.
I'm trying to decide if I want to do it for the show or hold it to we find out about the if we're going to do the
The
fundraise.
multiverse,
Yeah, we're going to
yeah,
do
the
multiverse
multiverse fundraiser, but that won't be until what?
January. That
Yeah,
won't be
yeah,
until January,
January. Yeah.
February. So it's like, but I don't know what they're going. I don't know what theme they're going for this coming year because I had originally planned for this past year to do DC Chen's latest book, but
Mm-hmm.
then they said they wanted something specifically.
Dealing with hope and and everything here. So,
So
like I
it
said,
was,
it's like it is what it is. But like I said, I trust Kelly. I'm
yeah.
glad that I'm kind of glad that Clyde brought us in as a unit to do
You
this
got to
here.
come back, Clyde. You got to come back. We need you. I miss you, Clyde.
Well,
We got to come back to the fun.
Clyde's been
Come
doing
back to
okay.
the fundraiser. Come back to the fundraiser. You ain't got to come back to the show
He
full
does
time,
the
but
fundraiser. He does the fundraiser. He does B-list boosters. He's a part of the fundraiser. But again, I still want to have the full mass gathering of all comic book spectrum eventually. I want the Brian K. Morris to come back. I want Eric Hawkins to come back. I want Brian Ryman back. I want Clyde Hall to be back. And then, all seven of us together in one room
oh
would be
no, that's just
it would be
chaos.
it's like I want to try to set it up like this is like the 20th anniversary special of comic book spectrum.
Eric, you have to, if you're watching, Eric, you have to teach me how you can draw and still keep your mind split so you can pay attention to what we were yakking about and still actually get artwork done because I don't have that skill and I need to learn it. So,
And we kind of also miss GI Joe toy talk too. And Star Wars toy talk.
I do. I miss those two. That would be that. We need to do an old fart show. We need to every once in a while. We should do an anniversary show where we all get together and just let chaos reign.
Because I was like, I know that it was like Brian Rotman has been doing his thing. He's been on his desk and writing novels. Uh, Brian K. Morris has been traveling, so he's been doing all these different shows. Right about now, Eric has taken over the duties to the drawing show, so that's the reason why he's not here.
Ah, okay.
That was the real reason. Um,
I know,
Clyde has been having his writing assignments and everything here,
and he
and
needed
then
more time for himself. I know why the guys aren't part of the weekly show, but I think every once in a while, like we should have a holiday special
yes,
or something.
not like Star Wars. No Star Wars holiday special. No, no.
No, but we can have like a Halloween special or a Yuletide or something. We can do a little something. Everybody gets like
Comic Book
10 minutes.
Comic Book Special presents Joe Hates Halloween. Sorry, everybody for Comic Book Spectrum. Why? Because I'm the only one here that really doesn't get into horror like that.
Sorry. Well, okay,
That's
we can
the
do
reason. That's the reason why we can name it Joe Hates Halloween.
and we can. Oh no, we can't use the Halloween music because copyright.
Right.
But yeah. Well, it is 8:53.
Yep. Hey, you got to eat.
I need to eat, especially since Charles made he made chicken Alfredo with
Okay.
garlic bread. So mine is sitting there waiting for me. So
Hopefully free from the sink.
it's in the microwave.
Okay.
It's in the microwave, so
It's shielded, so we don't have to worry about bloop 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 bloop. And like there's a thing from the sink. Eat your fettuccine Alfredo. The world may never know.
Like I said, every once in a while,
Uh-huh.
you're sitting here working or something, and
Uh-huh.
then you'll hear blah, 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 and it's like, oh my god, and it sounds like it sounds like something out of a horror film, and you half expect to see something climbing out the sink, and it's like, well, okay, depending on by the time those fingers get over the edge of the sink, I believe because my cart's right there, I can get over there and grab grab a couple of pairs of scissors. It's like, come on, let's fight.
Now you got me thinking about whatchamacallit, season 2 of Squid Games.
Ew.
About wearing that bun with the so-called knife slash tie. And be like, yep.
Oh, I've got a little ponytail holder. You've seen I sometimes wear it to C2E2. It's
Mm-hmm.
the thing with the Viking design. You
Mm-hmm.
take it out. It's got
and they're like, yeah, I dare somebody try me on the bus.
But it's short enough where usually my hair covers enough of it where security will just let me through. It's like, yeah, I'm dangerous.
They'd be like, that's a Borat. That's not a knife.
Yeah, it's she's not stabbing anybody. It's like, yeah, you believe that. That's nice.
You're gonna give that Jim Carrey laugh. Like that. What was it? The Fire Marshal Bill laugh.
Where I first heard that? There's an old Tom and Jerry.
Uh-huh.
I forget what else happens, but it's Tom, Jerry, and Spike. And of course, Tom keeps whacking on Jerry, and Jerry keeps getting Spike into it. And the last few seconds of it is Jerry runs into Spike's house. And then you see Tom's head come up. And then you see Spike come in. You see Spike's head come out. And then Spike in the house go up in the air, and you see Tom on the ground just praying. See, he knows he's dead. It's like, now see, that's how you end a horror film.
Yes.
That's how you end a horror film. Just when the big baddie thinks he's got the poor little helpless victim, and he's like, yeah, I'm coming for you. All of a sudden, there's something bigger, badder than him.
Comes in and be like, fun's over. Now it's my turn.
Kind of like those orcas with the sharks.
Mhm.
It's like sharks out there as swimmers. And then before they know it, here come the orcas. Just, yep. I love that. I one of these days I'm gonna sit down and write.
See, now you got me with this
A
one.
story about
Got
orcas
me with this
going at.
one scene in my mind here with the sharks and orcas. It's like the orcas just chilling off to the side, not minding their own business, and then here comes these sharks. Like, ooh, it's like, ooh, let's look at this over here. Ooh, we got some swimmers. Let me go and take these swimmers. Like, yeah, and then the orcas turn around and look. It's like, oh, when did they get here? I don't know. What do you think about doing? I don't know, but do me a favor. What? Hold my beer. Hold my beer.
Some poor swimmer off the coast of Somalia. Shark's like, up, and all of a sudden, boom. Whale's like, da da da.
Like da da da, and the poor swimmer is just like, I gotta get away. I gotta get away.
Hey, Saturday Night Live, you want to reinvigorate the show? Call us. We can do things for you. Anyway,
Oh my
is.
goodness! It's like, yeah, they don't want me because I would make Black Jeopardy live. Yeah, that's good. I will have.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
I would.
please. Now I'm going to have ideas about that. And I am finally getting
Trust
back.
me, I will be one of the few people to be like, Tom Hanks, please come back. I want you to reprise your role, and we will bring you back with Black Jeopardy at to say that, hey, we had a technical error on that final Jeopardy question that we stopped on the last time, and we was like, in all honesty, it was our fault. It was a loaded question, and we felt that it would be fair for honest competition, and then the questions that he faced this time around, it'd be like, yeah, all right, you one of us. And then we come right back to a Final Jeopardy question that goes way beyond.
Well, before I forget, I am finally getting back to work on book 2 of And the
Mhm.
Coming of Nighttime. I started roughing out the first page of the next act because I've got the first half of Act 1. I'm now on the second half of Act 1 because to do the adaptation, like I said, the book 1 is 66 pages and only covered 15 pages of film script. And so it's like, yeah, that's gonna be fun. So I figure I've got 15 pages that I'm working on now, and I will probably get between 60 and 70 pages by the time we're done, plus some additional artwork to go at the end. And I'll
Okay.
give you a sneak peek. Oh, before I forget, how are the markers?
I haven't. I opened them. I haven't done my swatches as of yet, so I haven't tried them 100% as of yet. You want to know what I don't like about them so far? But that's a technical thing.
Oh, that you have to put the stickers on there?
Yeah, there.
Yeah, you have
You
to put the stickers on the top. The newer ones come already with the ones on the top and the side, but it's not that hard because if you go, they They
I mean,
include
they don't give you like real instructions about how they're supposed to go on. It's like, are they supposed to go around? Are these things supposed to go around the top? It doesn't fit on the top
no, it
itself.
doesn't. Okay, on the top should already have the color number. I think the
No, that's
little
on the
ones
bottom.
that's on the bottom. Okay. These now come with the color numbers. It used to be they had stickers that went there that you had to put on, and then the stickers that went on the side. Give me a second. Give
Mhm.
me just a second. I'll pull out one of mine and you can see where it goes.
Because I was up here, it's like, yeah, I still got to do, figure out what type of paper I'm going to use where I could do my swatches here. Because this set right here, this is like my skin based colors.
Okay. Mine I put on this end here. So where the number is on this bottom, this part here, I put the sticker on that end. Let me
Okay.
see if I can put it where you can see it. So the sticker is
Okay.
so the
Yeah. So
bottom,
you have the number there, and then you put the sticker right around there.
yeah, because they don't go this side of the top, you can't put the sticker on. And because depending on how I'm working,
Hmm.
I'm either looking for it on the bottom here or on the side.
Okay.
You know,
But
it, it,
this is my skin based set here. I do have another hundred and something that I also bought as well.
oh,
That
you
was like,
got the deluxe set.
so this is the skin base. This is the 30 colors, but this is all skin tone.
Yeah, you got the deluxe. You got the skin tone, and then you got the hundred and something deluxe set.
Yep.
I got this. I think I have 6A or B.
This is the 120. That's the 120.
Okay, now I got to come take those. I'm
You up
thinking
here,
like,
it's like next thing you know, if I bring this to a show, you'd be like, hey Joe, look over there. What? Pow! What happened to my Arctic markers?
I got
I
no.
was like, it was
Oh, here,
120
Joe.
right here a moment ago. It's like, but what happened? It's like Elaine told me to look over there, and next thing you know, it was just gone. It's like, well, where's Elaine now? I don't know.
1 minute I was looking over there, the next minute I was seeing stars, and then I
Yep,
realized I was on my back on the floor.
yep, that's the 120.
Oh, I'm so jealous. I got
And
the
that's the thing. It's not that badly priced. I think this was only what, like 60 something, 60 or 80 something. I can't remember.
yeah.
I know for the both of them, I paid no more than $120 for both sets.
I got these. This is the I got the what they call the anime set. And eventually I want to save up to get the skin tone. And then because I think I have 60A or 60B and I want to get the other one, which will give me as many you have the 60s this that I want, the other 60s that I want will give me all of the colors that you now have
Mhm.
in that big box. And then I want to get the skin tone set.
Yeah, see, I originally only wanted this one. Then I realized I didn't get all the skin tones. I was like, so it's like even if I went down to the smaller box, the other smaller box here, it's like that still didn't have the skin tone. So I was like,
Well,
if they got a skin tone set, I'm going to buy the skin tone set. And then
the,
it's like,
but you get the set I got, you
mhm,
get a very decent number of say greens and browns and beiges, pinks and stuff. So even though technically it's not a skin tone set, you can do skin tones with it. And then a lot of the people that I follow
mhm.
also, they work like I do. They also use colored pencil. So you do your base tones with that and then you finish with color pencil. Just remember, some papers will drink that ink up. So you want, if you're going to do like watercolor paper, get like a hot press instead of cold press, because the more textured the paper is, the more it's going to eat up your nib, and
I'm doing
also the more
mostly
it's gonna drink up your ink.
I'm doing mostly Bristol slash I forgot what type of cardstock most sketch covers are.
Okay,
So I'm pretty much not, I'm not using these for anything other than maybe, if I have to do like a big Bristol board or cardstock.
well, I did that storm cover with
Mm-hmm.
these and my colored pencils.
Mm-hmm.
So, and like I said, I love to use my colored pencils because they work very well together. And these are great for
I'm
base
hoping
color.
that these blend a lot better than the Prismacolors.
One way to get them to blend, either have a watercolor brush or a little jar with a damp brush in it. And because I've seen the Korean girls are amazing with this. You lay down your top color and you want to blend another color on it. You lay that other color on really quickly, grab your brush, and they blend these things beautifully using paint brushes.
Mhm.
So they can, and some people just blend it with their fingers. It all depends on what effect you're going for.
Okay.
But if you make a mistake with the color, they layer really well. So say you have
And
a
that's
dark.
why I want to go to acrylic, because the Prismacolors, the older Prismacolors, they don't layer very well.
No,
And then I find myself trying to correct things by going over another layer, either with something that doesn't work very well with Prismacolor markers,
I
to
will
try to
either
correct it.
I will either use my Prismacolor ones or my Artist Loft watercolor markers as a base sometimes, and then I can go over with these and then finish it with um, colored pencils. And if you want, if you want to do fine line, if you've got fine liners because you want that outline, you want to get that outline on there, they do really well. I'll send you a list of the artists that I know that
Mhm.
specialize in these if you want to take a look at what people are doing. I saw a girl today, she got Posca just came out with a new set called In Me.
Mhm.
ENMI. No, they're not Poscas. They're challenging Posca. That's it. They're challenging Poscas. But they're ENMY. And they're really good. They've got some great new markers coming out. I love I love these. I love the Arctics, but I'm also kind of falling in love with the Ohuhus.
But you saw what I do with sketch covers and how fast I could turn one around. I just need something
I
that's
work
more
a lot.
reliable.
I work a lot slower than you. Um, if you're gonna blend with these, I will tell you, you really need to keep a brush handy nearby because depending on where you are, they will dry fast.
Okay.
So you don't want to leave these sitting around without their tops because it'll dry that can dry out your brush tip.
Hmm.
So you don't want to just leave these sitting out. Um, and if you're going to blend, you know, if you're not going to do it with your fingers, make sure you've got a brush so you can do it really quick because if it's cool, depending on how cool it is, if you got a fan or something blowing on you, they'll dry up real quick. So, that's just friendly advice from your neighborhood Auntie Moo.
I don't know. I always thought it's like that's a friendly advice from your friendly neighborhood editor who is not Jim Jordan.
Well, it is 9/11.
Yep. So you need to go ahead and sign off because you need food.
I need food. Okay. Let me just get myself.
We're going to
Nope.
play
No.
golf.
How do I
We're
get?
not going to play gauntlet. We're not going to be like Elaine needs food badly.
Oh, wait, nope. I put the wrong person up.
You knocked yourself out
I
of the
knocked
show.
myself out the thingy. It's
You
because I'm
knocked yourself out of the show. Hold on.
audio also removed. Okay,
There you go.
there we are. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Mhm.
Hope you found this at least entertaining, if not informative. I'm Elaine, lenscaponline.com. I'm here on YouTube. Go to my website if you. I've got two short comics that you can look at. I've got a sample chapter of The Enslaved that you can read. Also, if you go to the very bottom of my website page, there's a thing that says "Contact Us." Send me a line. Drop me something. Come to my YouTube page. Drop me a line. Okay, I always answer back. I swear, it's only Joe that doesn't do that. Anyway, y'all take care.
That's a lie.
That's my narrative. Y'all take
That's
care.
like that's her story, and she's sticking to it.
Y'all take care. Have a good evening. Be safe.
And as always, this episode is brought to you by Plasma Fire Graphics. If you need a great cover that brings people over to your table to have people talking about your next book, your next graphic novel, or your next comic book, hit up Jeffrey Hayes. Why? Because you want an award-winning graphic artist doing your covers. And if you don't believe me, believe this video.
You've worked hard and written a great book. Now, it's time to give it a great cover. If you're an indie author or small press publisher, Plasma Fire Graphics is your source for affordable cover illustration and graphic design.
Okay, we had technical difficulties here, but bear with me for one more moment. We're going to try this one more again. And if you don't believe me, here we go.
You've worked hard and written a great book. Now, it's time to give it a great cover. If you're an indie author or small press publisher, Plasma Fire Graphics is your source for affordable cover illustration and graphic design. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you.
Now, since you have seen those graphics and seen what Jeffrey Hayes has done for other people, now he could do that stuff for you. All you have to do is hit him up on plasmafiregraphics.com or his Facebook group for Plasma Fire Graphics. As far as I am concerned, I will be here on Saturday. Keeping my fingers crossed that we could get the laptop up and running by then, because hopefully I will have the brand new hard drive sent in and we could get it installed, get everything imaged onto it and back up and running here. That's one of the reasons why we've been running off of tablets and stuff over the last couple of weeks. The reason why we haven't had great thumbnails and stuff to that matter, because I have been down here. But nevertheless, we will have brand new comic books for the week. We will have some type of production update here. As you saw, it was like you have brand new markers and everything. I've been working on the sketchbook for here and there and everywhere. So there's things to be talked about. new things to discuss, and we take your comments very, very seriously here. So if you got things that you want to talk about, we talk about it on Saturday. But until then, unlike our founder, Brian K. Morris, I don't care if you wash your hands, but never, and I do mean never, apologize for being awesome. Live life, grow, and be well. And we are out of here for another week. So thank you for watching, and goodbye. And for those who watch from the desk, I see you guys Saturday. Good night.